What are some ways you can make extra money on the side that isn't a scam or illegal? I ghostwrite for blogs. It pays anywhere from $10.50 to $50 per piece when purchased, depending on the length and needs of the customer. Okay, what's a ghostwriter for blogs? Can someone let me know in the comments? A kid in my area did a genius thing. He bought a can of glow-in-the-dark/reflective paint, white, and a can of black. He also made the stencils for the numbers 0 to 9. He went door to door and told people if they didn't mind, he was going to paint their house number on the curb for better visibility, and was doing it for no charge. But you can choose the tip if you want. Of course everyone tips the kid like $20, because we all know what a pain it is to find a house in the dark. Takes 5 minutes per house. The whole street has numbers on curbs now. Brilliant kid, that kid. If you play an instrument well, you might be able to play for a nursing home. They typically schedule multiple musicians every week. Glamorous and a path to fame, it is not. However, the residents enjoy it, and they usually only play 1 hour during lunch or dinner. Most make between $75 to $120. That's not bad for an hour of work. Go on Kijiji and search focus group or paid research study. If you already work full-time, these things are very low time commitment and require zero planning or thought. You just show up, give your opinion, and leave. I have one on Tuesday, 75 minutes for a $100 Visa gift card. Right, I hope everyone's taking notes. We could be millionaires by the time we're 30, gang. Universities and colleges often advertise for participants for studies that they're doing. You can make easy money by spending an hour or so answering some questions. On a related note, you know when you get a receipt for purchase from a retailer, gas station or grocery store, and it says, complete this survey for a chance to win X amount of dollars? Yeah, do those surveys. I've won $1,000 in grocery store gift cards and $100 of free gas. I maintain websites and write newsletters for religious organizations and congregations. I bill 15 hours a month to 40 hours a month at $20 to $22 per hour. I lend my body to medical science. Students examine me for $20 to $50 per hour. I put in about 3 hours per week on average. I'm on call for highway snow ploughing. I've ploughed twice since the contract started in early November, but I get paid to be on call. If I stay home the whole week, I still get $400. Sometimes I moonlight as a medium distance trucker for $180 a day. I get an average of 2 shifts per week. I pray it doesn't snow those days. So far, so good. Average weekly income is just over $1,000, and I spend a lot of time at home. I once did dog poop removal to raise some money to help replace some tools and bikes I had stolen from my shed. Startup cost was low, posted to Craigslist, got a few clients, cut and run after a few months when I made enough and decided it was time to hang it up. I used to go to the local outdoor gun range and collect the brass people left behind, then take what I've collected to the scrapyard. Nowadays, the only stuff there is spent .22s and steel. A lot more people are reloading rifle rounds, and pistol rounds probably get brought to the scrapyard by other people. Another thing I used to do is sell crabs to bait shops. I used to work on a lobster boat, and at the dock there were always a ton of crabs. I'd set a trap in the morning one day, empty it out and rebait it after work, then bring what I had to people I know that fish for stuff like crabs. I'd sell a 5-gallon bucket full for $20, which worked out well for both parties because I paid nothing to get the crabs, and they're getting 5 times the bait for the same amount of money they'd spend at a bait shop. Right guys, let's all move to seaside towns and sell crabs to bait shops. There you go. $20 a day. Who's in? Freelance a major skill you have. Painting, home design or improvement, photography, videography, fashion, style, gardening, pet care, etc. You can sell blood. It doesn't even have to be yours. What's that supposed to mean, weirdo? Who else's blood are you gonna have? Scrap metal. You can get anywhere from a few cents to a couple dollars a pound based on the type of stuff you try to sell. You have to find a good, refutable place too. Otherwise you get ripped off. But generally, if you look around, you could find somewhere. My dad did this almost all my life, though maybe I was around 9 or 10 up until he passed away a couple of years ago. Having gone with him for some of those, I can tell you firsthand you can come in there with junk and leave with a good couple hundred. Plus, taking it apart if need be can be a good way to eat up the time. The good stuff last time I was there was brass, aluminium, good for those cans of soda or beer, cat food cans and so on. Even motors out of old washers, fridges, dryers did fairly well. It was some rewarding labour when you're out of high school with no job like I was my first couple years, and while attending trade school. People literally pay you to do their grocery shopping. Seriously, you need to be interested in whatever it is. For instance, if you like shopping, you can buy things at thrift stores and sell on eBay, but you need to know a lot about what you're selling and buying. If you're a lady, there's a lot of authentic, safe and anonymous sites where you can sell your used panties, if you're cool with that sort of thing, I guess. Sign me up! Joking, guys. Joking. I repair iPhone screens, batteries, etc., and work on people's computers. I can make between $40 to $120 per hour on some jobs doing fairly easy jobs that older people or people that are just too busy can't/don't want to do. I'm 17, so that money goes towards my post-secondary savings. And when my paycheck at my part-time job is lower than expected, the side gig makes up for that. Okay, so this got a bit popular overnight, lol. I'll try and respond to as many questions as possible. If you live in a snowy area, advertise shoveling driveways. People rarely judge, and it's easy money if you get some people who consistently need it. Substitute crossing guard. Gotta keep the tiny humans safe. Many flowers and ornamental grasses are easily grown from seed, even in a small backyard. You can sell potted seedings to your neighbours, or contact local florists and offer cut or dried flowers for their bouquets. Just make sure to do your research. In some places, this requires special permits and inspections. A lot of plant cultivars are also protected as patents, and you can get into legal trouble for selling seeds that belong to someone else. Wow, who knew there was so much rivalry in floristry? Amazon Flex, Deliveroo, Fiverr, Fourscore, Freelancer, a bunch of working from home gig and freelancer sites. The best and most reliable method is a proper second job. The gig sites and flex working economy will wear you down and frick you over, especially as a second job. Not me, but my friend. He bought fidget spinners in bulk back when they were really popular and sold them. Apparently made over $200 because of the high demand. There are transaction services where you get paid to transcribe audio files or videos. I think it averages out to about $15 an hour, depending on which company you go through. But the files are usually only a few minutes long. I got a paint bucket of stripped copper wire that I collect, which I can usually fill up in a few months if I'm not looking too hard. Sell your hobbies. Computers? Fix 'em. Drawing? Commission. Love pets? Walk 'em. Monetize what you love to do. Mowing lawns and ploughing snow is another way if a bunch of old guys live in your neighbourhood. Babysitting too, but only if you're a girl, apparently, because I guess you guys can never be good with kids. Research studies. Not just ones at universities. I've never done one of those. But you can Google consumer research studies in your area and sign up with different firms that conduct them. I did one where I used 12 different body washes in a month, then gave feedback and got paid $325. One where I sat in a room with 8 other people for an hour and gave feedback about an app that was being developed for $200, etc. Okay, first thing I'm doing after this, I'm Googling that. I will be in that meeting room next time you're in there, okay? Thank you for the recommendation. If you have a month, you can get really good at Roblox scripting language. Some of the best games are in the 7 digits with profits, and decent games usually can get into the high 4 digits. Teach English online to Chinese/Koreans. Easy $20 an hour. TEFL certificates are cheap and take 6 months only. Make wooden signs with the white girl phrases printed on them. Sell the signs. Live, laugh, love. $100. I like to bake, and people really enjoy my muffins. Especially blueberry. I'll take orders at work, no more than 10 dozen, and usually take $100 in profit for under 3 hours of work. My co-worker transcribes YouTube audio during downtime at work and says he gets like $700 a month out of it. He works overnight though, so he has a lot of free time. There's always stuff to be found on Beer Money. It's not going to be tremendous extra cash or anything though. Beer Money? What's Beer Money? Buy Lego sets. Leave them in their original packaging. Wait until they stop selling them in stores and flip them on eBay/Katawiki for profit. Take some time to get your ROI, but it makes a hell of a lot more than the interest rates at banks and is safer than investing in crypto. Imagine a YouTube channel as your job and getting monetized. Create a small online business. My mum's recently began to sell old books we don't read online through Amazon. I used to walk dogs all the time. I did it through Rover, and at the height I could make $500 a month with dog/house sitting and walks. You get paid to stay active and play with dogs. Absolute win. Yeah, this one's the best one. Come on. You get to walk dogs and get paid for it. Like, it's a no-brainer. Extreme couponing. My mum used to do it. Our house was filled with rubbish we didn't need, so she'd sell all the stuff she got from couponing. It's really a good side job. All you got to do is look in newspapers for coupons, and when you have a ton, buy a bunch of stuff and then sell it to people on Facebook for a low price. No way, that's just reminded me when we used to get coupons at school. What were they for? Can anyone remember? Just simple side jobs like lawn work. Depending where you live, you can shovel driveways in the winter too. Don't charge ridiculous amounts, and people will pay for it to be done if they're feeling lazy. If you do a good job, you get tons of return customers. I'm not sure if this is illegal, but I remember my aunt used to do this. She would find out about all of those big sales at clothing stores, like Nordstrom or whatever, and she'd buy stuff at a really low sale price. Then she would sell it online at full price. She ended up making a lot of profit off of this method. Right now, I'm between jobs, so I clean my boyfriend's mum's house thoroughly a few times a week. Enough to pay for the cleaning stuff I use and some extra cash. I actually love the rewarding feeling of cleaning. I'm thinking of actually doing this for extra cash for other people during busy times like holidays. Get people to support a Patreon or stream donations. I've never bothered, but there's people out there that have nothing of value to add to humanity and have supporters somehow. I once made like $300 selling paintings at my city's gay pride parade. If you have artistic ability, you could try something like that. Booth only cost me like $50 and it was barely work selling them. Any of these modern courier jobs that are app-based, such as Amazon Flex, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, etc., you can work when you want for as long as you want. I write commissioned smut. Currently working on an 8,000-word CIA/KGB interrogation fantasy scene with a HEA for $35. I originally started out saying I do any type of fiction commission in general, and that's still what I advertise, but most of all, it's still smut. Tutoring. I'm a teacher, but also tutor on the side and charge $55 an hour. But I know teachers who have their masters and charge way more. Obviously, if you're not a teacher or highly knowledgeable about a subject, you can't charge as much, but I find it's really easy money, and I enjoy it. Investing. It doesn't take much now that all of the major brokerages have done away with transaction fees. For $39, you can be the product owner of one share of AT&T. You'll get $2 per year in dividends. Will it make you rich? It will not, but it will buy you a bottle of soda. Babysitting. Selling stuff online, either your own or have some e-commerce going. Offer your lawn mowing or snow shoveling services to neighbours. Pet sitting/walking. Work at concerts or fairs for vendors. Get a blog going and hope it will have enough audience to have affiliated links. Start a YouTube channel. Stream on Twitch. That's all I thought of at the top of my head, but the list goes on. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video and have a wonderful day. Sell old stuff on eBay or Craigslist. What is Craigslist? I keep hearing that, but I've never heard of it before. Mystery/secret shopper. Yes, there are scam companies, but many are legit. Tip: don't pay any company to join. Hope that helps. Selling scarce drinking water to corporations, or the Chinese. Seems to be hot right now. Sell unused stuff on eBay. Editing people's YouTube videos. Buying popular items and reselling them locally with a price increase. If you're into sports, being a referee for youth/high school leagues can be a pretty decent side gig. You make decent money and schedules are very flexible. Typically, you'll get at least $50 a game, and including travel time, it usually works out to be around 3 hours. Most sports have off-season leagues too, so even if you just do one sport, you can find work 75% of the year. Or you can learn more than one sport. Sometimes starting off can be a little rough as you'll be low on the totem pole. But once you prove yourself and put in a few seasons, you'll have near free reign on games of your choosing. If you're in an urban area, it's usually easy enough to get a few games a week without having to commute too much. I live in Iran, and basically every website is either blocked or filtered. So I sell VPNs for a decent price. The pay, on the other hand, isn't much. Buying limited edition clothes/shoes and reselling them at a higher price to those rich Asian kids. It's not that difficult. Just gotta get into the groove of it and build a reliable reputation. Walk dogs. I'd stay away from big corps like WAG since I've heard horror stories about lack of pay, but you could probably find pups to walk in your own neighbourhood. If you live in a city, there's tons of local dog walking companies. One of my friends sells feet pics. He isn't into feet, but he likes cash. Well, I just started my OnlyFans about 7 days ago, and I've made about $1,400 almost entirely from people subbing. So if you can get a solid fan base, I'd say it's worth a try. $1,400. Wow. See you later, guys. I'm off. I think you know where I'm going. Get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. This comment was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid. Shadow Legends is an immersive online experience with everything you'd expect from a brand new RPG title. It's got an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of never-before-seen champions to collect and customize. I never expected to get this level of performance out of a mobile game. Look how crazy the level of detail is on these champions. Raid. Shadow Legends is getting big real fast, so you should definitely get in early. Starting now will give you a huge head start. There's always an upcoming special launch tournament with crazy prizes. And not to mention, this game is absolutely free. So go ahead and check out the video description to find out more about Raid Shadow Legends. There you'll find a link to the store page and a special code to unlock all sorts of goodies. Using the special code, you can get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic level champion as part of the new players program. Courtesy, of course, of the Raid Shadow Legends. Alright, Shadow Legends with the cheeky advertisement. Task Rabbit. This only worked if you're rich, but it's literally the easiest way to make money. A decade ago, I turned 18 and invested 1K of my summer earnings into a S&P 500 index fund. And now that account is worth around 2.5K. I made about $1,500 for a half hour's effort. Thinking about it though, it might have been a dumb decision, because my need for money in college was more than 2.5 my need now that I have a career. A foot pick business. You just need to be 18. I can take a part-time job in a restaurant. I have 22 years experience before quitting to become a truck driver. I know someone that would sell and collect Disneyland pins. She made a lot of money off of this. I can't really say any exact figure, but I want to say she sold a couple of pins for over $100. It's a little time-consuming from what I heard, but it sounds like good money. If your typing speed is fast enough, you can do dictation work on the side. Used to do it for beer money. To be fair, I should look into that. Guys, I think one of my biggest talents is how fast I can type. Literally, it's crazy. I don't want to give a lot of secrets, but I now purchase a broken, coveted electronic in bulk, about $50 a pop. Fix them in about an hour with $10 in parts, and flip them as a repaired/fixed setups for about $300 to $400. About 1 in 10 can't be fixed with my method. Spend $50 times 10 equals $600-ish, and 10 hours. Make $350 times by 9 equals $3,150 on average. Minus the $600 is about $2,500 profit for 10 hours on the side a month. Okay, that maths was seriously spinning my brain out, so sorry if that confused anyone. I used Wonolo while I was unemployed. It's a temp service to get day-to-day fill-ins at all sorts of jobs. Positions vary. I also do rover dog sitting and walking, especially if you get the overnights, a cool easy $50. On top of that, I'm signed up for a company that does major events in the social area. Additionally, I flip car parts for profit on Craigslist/OfferUp/Facebook. I'm always looking for a new opportunity when I can as well. This is all on top of a 40-hour-week job. Cool, we've got a busy Billy on our hands. May have already been said, but trading in video games. If you know the economy and are somewhat smart, it's easy to make money. I was a big Rocket League trading when I was 13 and made over $100 a month. Find a game with a stable economy and learn it really well. It makes it so much easier if you know how low you can buy and how high you can sell. Depending upon how much time you have, the summers in the US are good for working contract wildfire crews. The pay's good. The work's demanding, but easy. Just need to be able to put 2 to 4 months into it. At least 14 days if I'm not mistaken. Donate plasma. I average a few hundred per month, depending on the month I can even hit 350 USD. It depends if it's a high donation month. December gets you less of all. Or lower donations total. Tax season. Also, most places have a new donor thing that gets you a whole lot extra for your first 4 to 8 donations. If you have a car, there are companies that pay up to £100 per month for a few months if you let them put advertisements on your car. I mean, I don't have a license, but you're more than welcome to stick advertisements on my body and I'll walk around like that for money. Any takers? Yes, obviously I'm wearing clothes. Duh. Sell food at your school, especially Doritos. I use CAD software a lot, so if you have some, you could make models for people. Or if you combine that with a 3D printer or CNC machine, you could make cool parts, and I know Etsy's a pretty good platform to sell that kind of stuff. Same can be said for Photoshop commissions too. You can sell plasma. Some places have a rewards program for donors. According to my experience, you may start learning one new skill which would interest you, and expertise within it down the line. For 3 months, you may start rolling out your own service by either being a freelancer or owning your own service-based company. Investing. If you already have some savings. Yeah, and if you don't have any savings, just asking for a friend. Selling broken stuff you found across the street on Facebook. If you live in a place where weed is legal, you could trim bud for a grower when they need it. Flexible hours and fringe benefits. Post on CL to do errands and light cleaning for seniors and folks with disabilities. You'll get a lot of people who already have a caregiver and need extra help sometimes, or who don't need a regular caregiver but need or want a hand now and again. I do this when I get short on cash, and you can meet some awesome folks too. Don't at me, but sugar babying is always an amazing way. Sites like Sugar Baby University and seeking arrangements are great. Yes, a lot of guys are looking for something physical, but there are loads of guys, often businessmen out of town travelling lots for work, who just want someone to spend time with and talk to. A friend of mine went on one date with a really sweet guy. He picked her up in a limo and took her to one of the nicest 5-star restaurants in our town. She was treated to a dinner costing almost $1,000. And at the end of the date, he asked if he could give her a hug goodbye, which she consented to. That was as physical as it got. And before getting in the limo to drop her off at home, he handed her $500 cash and asked if she needed more because he could stop at an ATM. Yes, the sugar babying industry is frowned upon by a lot of people, but if you're in need of a fair amount of money fast, I'd recommend at least exploring it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos coming daily.